Blessed Sunday sa ating lahat mga kaibigan ko dito po sa Malaysia. Ang mga Filipinos dito po sa Malaysia, particularly dyan po sa Sabah is Malaysia. Ang mga overseas Filipino workers dito who are legally working and legally residing in Malaysia, particularly dyan po sa Sabah. And very specific dyan po sa Kota Kinabalu City. Ito po si Nico Fabian once again nandito po sa programa natin Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. And today it's Blessed Sunday. Sunday ngayon po is August 24. Those who are celebrating the birthday today, I would like to greet a happy birthday, and may this celebration that you are celebrating will be memorable, problem-free, birthday celebration ninyo and other occasions that you are celebrating today. Before I will forget, I would like to greet a happy birthday to my elder sister, si Cherry Fabian, who is celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday to Cherry, and may you have more birthdays to come. Okay, topic natin ngayon po, parehas pa rin tungkol sa korupsyon dyan po sa Pilipinas. And the questions that I would like to raise ngayon po sa programa natin is yun na po. Totoo ba maganda ang performance ng Kamara or ng House of Representatives natin dyan po sa Pilipinas during the 19th Congress? Kasi sabi isang congressman dyan sa Pilipinas po na inggit lang daw ang mga individuals, people who criticize ang camera po dahil maganda ang performance ng Kamara during the 19th Congress and today, ngayon po sa 20th Congress po, maganda daw ang performance. Kayo po, what do you think? What do you think? Maganda bang performance ng Kamara or 19th Congress, the previous 19th Congress po? Diyan sa Pilipinas o hindi. Depende na sa inyo po. Pero para sa akin po, malaking question mark yun po. Maraming mga tao naggalit tungkol sa how they perform ang mga congressmen natin during the 19th Congress, no? During the 19th Congress. Marami tayong mga problema. Isa na nga, the worst problem that we face during the 19th Congress is yun most corrupt national budget natin ang 2025. That is one very sabi natin, big issue po, hot issue po hanggang ngayon. Gusto ang mga Filipino malaman kung ano nangyari sa 25 national budget, which has been described by many Filipinos as the worst corrupt national budget in the history of the Philippines. During the time of the 19th Congress po, nandiyan na po ang mga investigasyon na carried out by, sabihin natin, itong TRICOM, Quadcom, ang mga congressman natin po. And obviously, nakita natin, I don't know if you will agree with me, obviously, nakita natin po na itong TRICOM, Quadcom, when they did the investigation po during the 19th Congress po, very obvious talaga that it was politically motivated, and focus sila po on trying to destroy ang pangalan ng Vice President natin si Inday Sara Duterte, to the extent they even went to file an impeachment complaint against Inday Sara Duterte, but unfortunately it did not materialize po dahil ang Supreme Court natin in its ruling, they said it is unconstitutional. However, buhay pa rin yun po. If they still want to file another complaint against Inday Sara Duterte, they may do so by after February, on or before after February 6 of 2026. Pwede pa rin yun po. Walang problema. Sabi ang Supreme Council natin dyan po sa Pilipinas. Now, nandyan na po yun kasi dahil sa election po, midterm election that was in May 12 pa yun, May 13 pa yun, May 12. Now, nandyan na po yung mga ayuda, left and right po, no? Which it didn't do much to the Filipinos po, no? Ang mga congressmen natin po, they took advantage of this distribution of ayuda when in fact, ang trabaho nila po, mga congressmen, is to pass the law, no? Not to distribute itong mga ayuda. Nandyan po din ang problema ng PhilHealth during the 19th Congress po, no? Ang PhilHealth, ang problema, the depths of PhilHealth to the various or numerous hospitals in the Philippines. And of course, alam natin po, this, sabihin natin, zero balance medical billing po. Hindi nangyari, hindi yung totoo po. So, in totality, the way how I look at it, and I suppose many of the Filipinos believe that the performance of the 19th Congress or ang House of Representatives natin under the leadership of Speaker Representative Martin Romualdez was not satisfactory. For me, I believe it was not satisfactory. Ang daming problema po. Yet, may isang congressman just recently, this week, also said that, okay, we will name him, si Representative Ortega, sabi niya, inggit lang daw po ang mga tao who criticize House of Representatives po kasi maganda daw ang performance. Maganda daw ang performance ng Kamara, 19 Congress at saka ngayon. Totoo ba yan po? Do you agree? It's up to you po. Para sa akin po, tet yun sa akin po. Ibig sabihin, I do not agree with that kind of a statement. And tingnan natin po, nandyan na naman sila po, ang TRICOM and Quadcom. They reorganize na naman po ang TRICOM and Quadcom, and they will be conducting itong most controversial issue ngayon po, ang mga proyekto sa flood control projects. We have thousands of flood control projects. And nakita na natin po, based on the news articles, news reporting from the mainstream media as well as from our social media bloggers po, what happened to these flood control projects ng administration ni Marcos. Even our president, si Bongbong Marcos himself, expressed unhappiness, disappointed. Not only disappointed po, in fact, he said he's very angry because he discovered that some of these flood control projects po are very problematic. And worst thing po, he discovered that there are some projects, are ghost projects po. Ibig sabihin, wala yun po, sa papeles lang na nagawa. But, walang physical projects na gawa po. Yet, the government, using the taxpayers' money, we paid in full amount to the contractors po. Ganon yan po ang nangyari sa ating bayan. Kaya nga po, nakita natin po, ang buhay ng mga Filipinos po, we cannot level up po. But ang buhay ng mga politicians natin, particularly those elected ones and who are involved in this hanky-panky, corruption activities po, they are rich, they become more richer. Dahil sa corruption po. Pangit talaga po, no? Mga overseas Filipino workers, kawawa tayo, no? We are sacrificing our lives, distance tayo sa mga loved ones natin po. Trabaho tayo sa ibang nasyon. And for the sake of our loved ones, we left temporarily sa Pilipinas. And for the sake of our country, through our monthly remittances, monthly, weekly, or yearly remittances dyan po sa Pilipinas, we are directly or indirectly helping the economy of our beloved country, which we call the Philippines. The Philippines po. And of course, as what the former president Rodrigo Roa Duterte po, mentioned during his term as the President of the Philippines from 2016 hanggang 2022 po, sabi na po ang mga OFWs, for him, it brings a bell, this music to his ears when he hear itong overseas Filipino workers dahil po they are the modern heroes ng buhay natin, ng bayan natin dyan sa Pilipinas. But unfortunately, may mga modern corrupt officials dyan po sa Pilipinas po. They took advantage. They took advantage of the pera ng bayan natin po, no? They took advantage, itong mga congressmen, mga politician natin, top government officials, no? Sa mga kagaya yun na public works and highways, no? They took advantage and milked their own Filipinos, no? They milked their own countrymen po, which is very, very bad. Which is very, very bad po. Sana lang po, with the announcement of the President, Bongbong Marcos, during his SONA last month po, na he said heads will be rolling and he wants these corruption activities carried out by irresponsible leaders ng bayan natin po, will be brought to justice. And justice will be served sa mga Filipinos po. And sana lang po, he will do his best. He will turn his words into action po. Kasi whether we like it or not, nakita na natin po, ang presidente natin, si President Bongbong Marcos, is fond of giving empty promises po. Salita lang po, pero sa gawa, wala. Hopefully, with this remaining 3 years po, 3 years na lang po, because he will end his term sa 2028, and today is 2025. Sana lang po, what he said during the SONA, he meant every word po. Para at least, pagbaba siya pagka-presidente po, he left a good legacy. So far ngayon po, from 2022 hanggang ngayon, 2025 po, anong legacy? Mayroon si BBM. So far, for me, wala pa po. No? Sayang ang 3 years natin po. And I really hope, no? Na he will do something po. Ang bigas natin, 20 pesos per kilo, ano nangyari po? No? Ano nangyari sa... We want to hear an explanation coming from the congressman concerned. What happened sa 2025 national budget? And ano nangyari yun po? Yung signature campaign nila. Signature campaign nila na they give out cash donations po. What happened? Did it really help ang buhay ng mga Filipino? No? Hanggang dyan lang yan po sa election. Tapos sa election po, wala na, no. So with this newly elected na senators at saka congressmen natin po, some of them, ito mga congressmen po, because of their very bad performance po, ang mga tao po, ang mga voters, Filipino voters po, decided not to give them another mandate po. So ingat kayo mga politicians natin po, ingat lang kayo. Kasi pagdating na naman ang 2028 presidential election, the people will once again judge you. Meron yan mga investigation accountability of Inday Sara Duterte. But why the Congress only focus on the office of the Vice President? Yun now 126 million. Confidential funds. Samantala po, if you look at it, ang confidential funds ng presidente natin po, paano siya naggastos? How he spent his confidential funds po? We don't know. And it's not only 125 million. It is, we are talking here about billions of pesos po ang confidential funds ni President Bongbong Marcos. How about the other, sabihin natin, agencies, government agencies po na mayroon confidential fund? Bakit hindi kayo nag-investiga? Why you did not investigate? Why you refuse to investigate? Why only focus on the investigation of Inday Sara Duterte? So, bottom line, for me, in totality, for me, I disagree with Representative Ortega saying that inggit lang daw mga tao who criticize sa kamera po dahil maganda daw ang performance ng kamera. That I totally disagree po. Maraming question marks yan po dyan. Dyan. Anyway, okay, tuloy natin ang balita natin tungkol sa mga issues sa Pilipinas. And this time around, I would like to share with you some news articles. I got it from some mainstream media dyan po sa Pilipinas. And I also prepared some video clips po to support ang mga whatever news that I will be sharing with you during our August 24 episode po. Dito po sa TikTok, The Real Talk with Nico. And ito na po. Let's, let me share you an article. Article po, no? Sa ABS-CBN. ABS-CBN. Tungkol pa rin po, we are very lucky to have a returning senator, si Senator Ping Lacson. Ngayon dyan po sa Senado. Now, in less than 3 months po, he already conducted his own, with his own initiative po, carried out an investigation on the flood control program sa Pilipinas, and my initial results na siya po, and wherein nakita niya po na mayroon na mga elected congressmen natin involved, directly or indirectly involved in the anomalous awarding, implementation of flood control projects nationwide. Ito po, sabi nga ni Senator Ping Lacson, I have the numbers but I don't have the list of names of the 67 elected politicians natin po sa involved sa flood control programs natin. Very controversial flood control projects natin po. Not only sa Manila, sa lahat na yun po. And the entire country or nation of the Philippines po, ang daming kalukuhan. But anyway, let me read you this story po sa ABS-CBN news article ito po. The heading of this article is, Lacson, senators could also have made budget insertion for flood control projects po. So far mga kaibigan, mga kababayan ko dyan po sa Pilipinas, dito po sa Malaysia, particularly dito po sa Sabah is Malaysia, very specific sa Kota Kinabalu po, no? So far, wala pang pangalan ng mga senador na lumabas po involved dito sa anomalous awarding or implementation of flood control projects sa Pilipinas po, no? But anyway, nandito po, let's listen to this news article which I got it from ABS-CBN. Nandito po, no member of the Senate or the House of Representatives is free of suspicion in anomalous flood control projects since all may make amendments or insertions during the deliberation on the annual national budget. Senator Ping Lacson said yesterday or Saturday. There could be senators. There could also be congressmen, sabi ni Ping Lacson. Lacson explained that the lawmakers who amend the budget for flood control projects have claim or royalty or the right to choose the contractor for the projects. So mayroon doon ng mga congressmen who made the amendment sa budget mo, have a claim or royalty or the right to choose the contractors po. No? And apparently, mayroon mga congressmen nagiging contractors din po dahil sa pera. He said the proponents of the insertions were not documented in the previous budget deliberation, which is why legislators were confident to make large amount of insertions. Right? Kasi it's not mentioned po. So save yun sila po. Now they are putting the blame on the Department of Public Works and Highways. Kawawa naman ang mga tao dyan po sa Public Works and Highways po. Lahat, hindi naman lahat po, corrupt dyan po ang mga tao po, no? But they are just doing their job. Kasi once dumating ang budget sa kanila po, no? Ang mga projects nila po, ang Ministry of Public Works and Highways, they are obliged to implement the projects po, no? This piece of cake process of amending the national budget bill led to insertions ballooning in fiscal year 2023 to 2025. He said this is why the previously pitched to have lawmakers' individual proposals to the national budget posted online. When we say fully transparent and deliberation ng budget, dapat fully transparent talaga. Sabi ni Ping Lacson, Senator Ping Lacson. When we say the budget deliberation is fully transparent, it should really be fully transparent. Disclose to the public who are responsible for the individual amendments. Lacson, however, refused to name any lawmakers without strong evidence. Hindi pa. Si Senator Lacson, he refused to give out the names of these lawmakers involved po until after mayroon na siyang concrete evidence, which is normal lang yan po. The Senator's presentation during his privilege speech on August 20 included the names of House Deputy Minority Leader Arman Panaligan of the Oriental Mindoro, whom he said claimed credit for flood control projects in the province. Yes, I remember. Ang pangalan ni Arman Panaligan was mentioned during his privilege speech po. And nakita natin po, based on the initial investigation and based on the mainstream media reports po, involved maraming proyekto ito si Representative or Deputy Majority Leader Arman Panaligan. Panaligan has denied the allegation. Alright? So, yun po. Yun ang first name mentioned po, Congressman. Now, a lot of people also, not only ang mga senators natin, but also politicians and even ordinary Filipinos po, taxpayers, we also heard the name of Representative Saldico, who was the former Appropriation Committee Chairman ng Kamara o House of Representatives. We are now calling, yes, I myself, I'm calling Representative Saldi Ko to come out and explain to the public, explain to us po, what really happened sa appropriation of ang committee niya of which is heading, ang chairman siya po. What really happened sa National Budget 2025. At saka, totoo ba yun na mayroon kang involvement sa awarding of this flood control projects dyan po sa Pilipinas? May mga news, mga chika-chika, mga marites po, I don't know how true, but it's not yet confirmed, na wala na daw si Representative Saldico sa Pilipinas. Kung hindi totoo, I challenge Representative Saldico to come out openly, show your face and explain to the people, to the Filipinos po, what really happened in your appropriation committee po. Para at least, we will have peace of mind po. Para at least, malalaman natin po kung sino talaga involved sa mga kalokohan, anomalous actions or activities carried out by this now, sabi natin, mga storya po na may mga congressmen involved directly or indirectly in awarding of this flash control projects po. Flash control projects po, ang dami yun po, no? Ang dami yan, worth more than 500 billion pesos. Now, mayroon ghost projects. Mayroon allegations that itong mga lawmakers ask for a very high SOP. SOP po. Ghost projects, hindi, wala talagang project. Pero sa documentation po, sa papeles po, completed na ang project, pero ang project pala po, ghost lang yun po. Projects, may mga projects na hindi nag-follow ang specification. That's why we have very poor quality of flood mitigation programs or projects dyan sa Pilipinas. Kaya nga po, kung may baha o may flash flood, may heavy downpour po, ang Pilipinas, especially itong mga flood-prone areas po, will be submerged. And nakita natin po sa mga news articles lumabas, mga reports po, na much money has been allocated for flood control projects po sa mga regions who are not facing acute flood problems po. And bakit naglagay ang pera doon? Samantala, ang mga areas like Metro Manila po, no? Like Metro Manila, Bulacan, no? Diyon palagi ang submerged sa tubig whenever we have typhoons or heavy downpour po. Yet, kulang ang flood mitigation or flood control programs nila po, projects nila po dyan sa lugar po, no? Dyan sa lugar. So what happened? Bakit yan po, no? Bakit? This is the things that we want to know. Not only me, but I suppose ang mga Filipino dito po sa Malaysia, particularly sa Sabah, we also want to know ano nangyari talaga. Ano nangyari talaga. Okay? So, ang next thing that I want to share with you po, tingnan natin, okay, medyo may sakit tayo ngayon, but anyway, tingnan natin po. I will share with you itong video clip. May video clip tayo dito, kay one of the congressmen po, one of the congressmen when interviewed dyan po sa Billionario News by Pinky Webb. Interview ito by Pinky Webb kay sino ba ito? Kay Congressman Valeriano from Metro Manila. Let's listen to this.
Sabing hatian sa flood control projects, or you knew about it pero hindi niyo po alam na ganito kalaki? What is it, sir?
Nagulat po ako. Tama rin yung nakakasuka, nakakadiri. At lalo na po yung na-discover yung Pangulo ng isang araw na merong ghost project. Yung po talagang, that is a matter of all scam. Sabi ko nga, it might be another na policy scandal. This is a matter of all scam.
How will you siguro reply, Congressman, doon sa mga magtatanong na kaya niyo bang patawag yung sarili niyong mga congressman?
Kaya bang?
Kaya niyo bang ipatawag ang kapwa congressman niyo dito? Kaya niyo bang magtanong ng mga kailangan tanungin sa mga kapwa congressman niyo dito?
Medyo malabo lang po yung dating. Kaya ba namin, what do you mean, ma'am? Again?
Kaya niyo ba, Congressman, sa mga nagtatanong, kaya ba ng TRICOM ipatawag ang kapwa congressman na sabihin po natin, posibleng involved or may questionable participation dito po sa mga flood control projects? At kaya niyo bang tanungin ang kailangang mga tanungin?
Opo naman, in the first place, mas madali nga silang tawagin kasi ano na sila mismo sa Kongreso. At yung TRICOM po, I can assure you ma'am, and even the public, na wala pong kikilingan at magiging fair po yung investigation. Tandaan po ninyo yung Quadcom ng 19 Congress, yan din yung medyo accusation before. Pero what happened after the Quadcom, lahat naman ang dapat ipatawag, lahat naman ang dapat tapusan. At siguro naman, the result will speak for itself. Maganda yung naging resulta po. And this time yung TRICOM, naniniwala po ako sa credibility ng tatlong chairman. One is Congressman Terry Redon, si Congressman Joel Chua ng Good Government, at si Congressman Momo ng Public Works. So I believe na ano po to, tama lang na magsimula. At kami naman kung meron ng independent body na mag-iimbestiga, willing din po namin isubmit yung sarili namin kung meron masasabit sa mga Congress. Isubmit yung sarili namin kung ano independent body para once and for all din, ma-clear or maparusahan na yung mayroong kinalaman dito sa nakakasulasok na sabi nyo na flood control project.
Si Congress
Alright, yun po, narinig ninyo po, no? Ang interview ni Pinky Webb kay Representative Valeriano, no? Sa congressman yan po sa District 2. And he mentioned about the TRICOM. Ang TRICOM po, he mentioned one of the chairman ng TRICOM po, si Congressman or Representative Joel Chua, no? Now, talking about Joel Chua or Representative or Congressman Joel Chua po, no? May controversial issue din, hot issue tungkol sa kanya po, no? Ang question dyan po, ang question niya, yung taga Manila who is nandito ngayon sa Malaysia, working and residing legally dito po sa Malaysia po, and sa Sabah in particular po, no? Now, may mga issues dyan kay Congressman Joel Chua po. And the question raised by Mayor Yorme Isko Moreno po is that Congressman Joel Chua, kailangan pa ba ng building permit if you want to construct a building dyan sa Maynila? Yon ang tanong ni Mayor Yorme kay Joel Chua dahil po what he did, itong si Joel Chua, Congressman Joel Chua po, he built a barangay hall sa 5-foot way and walang business or building permit po. Kailangan pa ba ng business permit or he violated ang rules and regulations ng mayor's office po? As a congressman, he should know these things po, na kailangan business permit. Kung walang business permit po, you cannot simply build an structure dyan sa lugar ninyo po. That is one of the So, tawag din ni Mayor Yorme sa Senado kung pwede din po mag-include itong mga projects, ginawa, illegally constructed projects, not only flood control projects sa Manila, but also other structures that were built illegally, to include it in the ongoing investigation dyan po sa Blue Ribbon Committee spearheaded by Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Marcoleta po. Dami po, mga kalukuhan po. And apparently, if we look at the news, na imposible po to say that some elected politicians, congressmen natin po, are not involved in this anomalous projects. Para nakikita na natin po na tama ang statement, ang sigaw ni Vice President Inday Sara Duterte last year ba yun? O 2 years ago. Wherein sabi niya, 2 tao lang po who decides in the budget natin sa Pilipinas po. That is the Speaker of the House of Representatives, si Representative Martin Romualdez, and Representative Saldico. And now, ito ang resulta po. Nakita natin po, ang daming mga kalukuhan pala dyan sa Pilipinas. Carried out by, ito na po ang mga elected officials natin. Okay, another video clip that I want to share with you po ay tungkol another interview. Interview po. Listen to this po. Sa Boneo o sa Billionaire News pa rin po. Let's listen to this.
Yung hamon po ninyo ko kay Mayor Magalo.
Unang-una, inamon ko siya na halimbawa siguro, hindi naman siguro talagang serious ang kanyang sinasabi. Pwede naman siya mag-apologize. Na sinabi niya na ayaw niya mag-apologize. So, ang pinakamagandang gawin niya, sinabi ko nga dito, the honorable thing na kinakailangan gawin niya, kung talagang meron siyang alam, sabihin niya na kung sino yung mga yan. Sabihin niya na kung sino yung yan, submit documents, testify under oath, at para malinis po natin ang sistema na naisayan talagang maging malinis.
Klaruhin lang po natin, siya ho ba ay nakatanggap na ng imbitasyon mula sa mga komite sa Kongreso para humarap sa mga pagdinig?
Actually, hindi ko talaga nalaman na meron siyang natanggap. Pero palagay ko yung head ng trial committee, si Terry Hickton, nagsabi na publicly na siya ay imbitado na umarap.
Pero ang Kamara ho ba ay may just in case, no? Na tumanggi itong si Mayor Magalong, ang Kamara ho ba ay may kapangyarihan na isamon itong si Mayor Magalong kasama na yung mga ebidensyang sinasabi niya?
Bakit hindi? Siya ang unang-unang whistleblower. Kaya may karapatan ng Kamara, may karapatan ng trial committee na ipatawag siya.
Opo, kasi, kasi nung huli,
Talagang meron siyang tinatago na sinabi naman niya na alam niya kung sino-sino yung mga yan Hindi sabihin niya na, ba't kinakailangan pang magbibigay siya ng blanket association sa buong Kamara, di ba?
kung kasi itong si Mayor Magalong, nung huling nakausap namin dito last week, sinabi niya na willing siyang humarap sa mga pagdinig ng Kamara, pero hindi niya dadalhin yung mga ebidensyang hawak niya. Dahil meron daw siyang trust issues sa Congress. Your comment, please.
Kung halimbawa, wala siyang tiwala sa Kongreso, talagang magiging honorable ang magiging investigation dyan. Ako, naniniwala rin ako na pwede natin gawin independent commission yan. Oo. Bilang independent commission, wala lang sa Kongreso yan. Palagay ko, harap na siya. Sabihin niya ng mga pangalan. Lahat ng mga pangalan na sinasabi niya na alam niyang meron siyang ebidensya, sabihin niya na ako, I'm in favor of an independent commission to investigate on this.
And once may mapangalanan po niya, ano yung next step ng Kamara hinggil dito?
Ang next step ng Kamara siguro, hindi lang yan imbestigahan na. Imbestigahan na sapagkat sinabi naman ni Congressman Taylor dito na kung mayroong talagang dapat imbestigahan sa Kamara, imbestigahan na yan. O meron din pwede mag-complain sa Committee on Ethics tungkol dyan, imbestigahan na rin. Pero mas maganda siguro na magkaroon na ng independent commission para ang investigasyon ay walang bahid ng anumang bias kay Kamara.
Alright, yan po, si Representative Abante, commenting on the statement of Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong, dyan po about sa corruption ng flood control projects. Hindi lang po dyan sa Baguio City, sa lugar niya po, but in some other areas. So we consider him as one of the whistleblower. Ang problema lang din sa Pilipinas po, we noticed previously, kung may mga whistleblowers po, sila pa na nakulong. No? Instead, ang mga tao involved sa corruption, nakulong, ang whistleblower pa po. But I don't think so. This time around, I think they will find it very difficult. Kay, sabihin natin na mayor ng Baguio City, si General, Mayor General Benamin Magalong. You remember na during the Mama Sapano investigation po, may kredibilidad talaga si Mayor Ben Magalong po. So let's see po. He said he will not give the evidence sa Kongreso po, and he will give it to the right during the right people or right platform po. Yes, we agree. Kailangan talaga po independent body to investigate itong flood control projects, anomalous flood control projects dyan po sa Pilipinas. Now, nakikita natin po ang TRICOM will be conducting this investigation. Hopefully, as what earlier mentioned, it will be next week, sa Wednesday po, or the week to come. But ang Senado din po, under the Blue Ribbon Committee, spearheaded by Senator Rodante Marcoleta, nag-start na po last week ang investigation. But these are all in aid of legislation. Ibig sabihin po, whatever findings they have no power to put the culprits behind bars. All they have to do, all they can do only is to submit their findings, ang report nila sa Ombudsman o sa Sandigan Bayan po for proper charges to be filed against these people, people involved. Yun lang po ang role ng Senado at saka ng Congress, ng Congress. But anyway, we hope and pray na mayroon independent commission to conduct this investigation po para walang bias. And let's see po. Let's see, medyo mahirapan yata po, no? I don't know, but anyway, let's see kung mag-start na talaga itong TRICOM ang investigation nila po. Paul, itong si Representative Saldico, or maybe even the Speaker, let him explain ano nangyari po. And those other involved sa anomalya po, no? And let's hear, let the people judge them po, no? Let the people judge them. Be open. We will be watching po ang mga live sessions or hearings ng TRICOM at saka ng Senado po. I myself will do extra miles so that we'll be able to cover and I'll be able to inform ang mga kababayan ko dito po sa Malaysia on mga latest updates natin tungkol sa issue na ito. This is the reason why ako po, ang TikTok, The Real Talk with Nico, I decided to do this daily blogging po because I want ang mga kababayan ko dito sa Malaysia, be it sa West Malaysia or East Malaysia po. I want them to be properly informed. I might not be giving you the breaking news, but definitely the breaking news, you are going to get it through my program. Ito po sa TikTok, The Real Talk with Nico. So, yun ang mga topics natin ngayon that I would like to bring sa inyong lahat mo. When Sunday ngayon, and it's a relaxing day, and hindi na tayo magtagal sa programa natin dahil Sunday is a day for our family para may time din tayo po mag-bonding sa pamilya natin, sa mga misis natin, sa mga anak natin po, and our immediate family members. No? Kailangan, and at the same time, prepare na tayo po for another week-long, busy week, starting tomorrow po. No? Working week na naman tayo tomorrow, and sige, ingat lang tayo palagi. So, again, I would like to remind, hopefully, ang TRICOM investigation or probe sa flood control projects natin po, they will start it on Wednesday, and I will continue to monitor, and we will see po ang mga mga updates ni Senator Ping Lacson, ni Senator Tito Soto, ni Senator Dante Marcoleta, and other senators and congressmen po that we'll be hearing from them next week starting Monday po. And I'll make sure that you will be properly properly informed para hindi kayong blurred. So with this, again, I would like to say shoutout tayo kay Mary Lou Pentojo, ang mga kaibigan natin dyan po sa Sabah is Malaysia was watching my program, ang mga kaibigan natin po dyan sa Zamboanga, Basilan, Sulu, and Tawi-Tawi, dyan po sa Cebu, Davao, at saka Manila area po. No? Thank you very much for monitoring itong program natin. Huwag natin kalimutan i-like and subscribe sa TikTok, The Real Talk with Nico, dahil itong programa po, itong programa I'm doing, it is meant for all of you. Itong countrymen ko po, kababayan ko po dito sa Malaysia. And of course, not only ang mga overseas Filipino workers dito po sa Malaysia, but of course, ang mga kababayan ko, friends ko po, be it Malaysian and other other nationalities po, mga overseas Filipino workers sa iba-ibang nation po. And of course, ang kababayan natin dyan sa Pilipinas. So with this, once again, si Nico Fabian would like to say thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. Enjoy ang Sunday holiday natin po and prepare for another busy working week starting tomorrow. Malaysia, Sabah, the Philippines, God bless us all, and I'll see you in my next episode. Bye. God bless.